I'm with Brian from 9 Round. Brian, maybe you can just tell me a little bit more about yourself.
All right, so right now I'm the owner of a 9 Round Fitness in the St. Clair and Christie area. I've been the owner of this location for a year now, or actually a year as of Monday, so that's the 20th of July. I guess opening a business, brand new endeavor, and then having to deal with COVID on top of that was interesting. But then before that, my life was actually spent mainly in corporate. So I had HR positions in health and wellness, and then was paralegal as well. So it was a big shift from what I was doing there into fitness. Yeah. But even when I had my career, I was always doing things on the side, whether it was real estate or fitness related, whatever it was. And yeah, so here we are. So I went from corporate about 12 years with my kind of like side hustles on the side to deciding to take the plunge and just go full time into business ownership.
Okay, so how did you get to the point that you said, okay, I'm going to go into 9 Round with this program?
So I guess when I made the decision to get into fitness full time, when it was, it kind of just became apparent that it's something I should do.
Okay.
Right. I think what happens is we get really comfortable with the stable paycheck corporate, and we kind of get scared to kind of take that plunge and say, you know what, I'm going to go out there on my own because nothing's for sure.
Right.
And then it was just getting to the point where I just wasn't. I can't say I was enjoying it. Yes, it was good paying jobs. Yes, it was steady with all the perks, but the thought of having to do something I didn't like for another 30 years, whatever it is, before I retired, just didn't seem appealing.
Right.
So then I was trying to basically figure out ways to retire as early as possible. My goal was at least 55, freedom 55. So I started to play around with rental properties and whatnot to kind of help me speed that up. But even that wasn't fast enough. I was just kind of done with corporate, and I decided to just take the plunge and what are the options there? Live unhappy, kind of doing something you don't like, through emotions, or taking a chance, right? And at the end of the day, I mean, at least the economy at that point was I could always get another job.
Right.
The job's a job.
Right.
Your passion is your passion. Your passion doesn't change as much as your job can. So I took the plunge and went for it, and here we are. 2 years in September, I decided to do that, and a year into 9 Round. Now, when it comes to 9 Round, when I was changing my perspective on how I really kind of view at least my life, there were certain principles and kind of morals that I wanted to live by as well.
Right.
And they met, and we got introduced to the owners of 9 Round, the head franchise owners. They were just such good, sincere people, and kind of were speaking what I considered was my truth. And it really attracted me to the brand because they just seemed very authentic with their want to actually help people and kind of change fitness from something that most people hate to something that people look forward to and it's fun. And I know you can attest to that because we have a lot of fun here. I mean, we happen to work out, but we have a great time.
Right.
And when I was kind of looking around at something to do, I decided, I saw a couple of franchises, I found them, and that was it. I just knew that the combination of what they offered, what I could do, would be just the best thing.
So what was it about 9 Round? You said they were very nice people. They seemed sincere. Tell me about the thought process about finalizing and going for this. What were the different criteria you looked upon to make that decision?
So for me, I just figured if I'm going to do something for the rest of my life, I want to do something that I enjoy and something that kind of speaks to my authentic self, you could say, because really faking it for the rest of your life sucks.
Right.
All right. So then when I found this company here, I mean, they were so big on self-improvement as well, not just members, but like self-improvement.
Yeah.
And it was just something that I just held near and dear because I always think you can always improve, right? I mean, that's what you do, because people can always improve, and that's why you're here, to help them improve. So I just like that element of it where even as a business owner, it's not just start your business and go, it's start your business and continuously get better.
Okay.
And that's amazing.
But what about in terms of the business itself? Any advice you would have about people when they're looking into buying a franchise?
You know what? Do your homework. Look around. Once you jump into a franchise, you're pretty committed, and that franchise slowly becomes an image and reflection of yourself. Okay? Right? So you have to take that in mind that for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, your decision is going to be a reflection of you and is going to say a lot about you. Most people will know a brand before they know you.
Right.
And then that's kind of where the thought process starts. So if you're going to look into a franchise do your homework, not just at the surface, but kind of find out what the company's about. Don't jump into anything until you meet more people inside the company so you get a good idea of what the company's all about. Ask to visit other locations. Don't buy a franchise blind. Just assume it's going to work out. Ask to meet other owners and to go to other locations, because I find business people are pretty straightforward. You know, we're not messing around. It's like, it's really like for that when you have business. It's either make it or sink or swim.
Right.
So these business owners, they'll be authentic and they'll tell you know what, maybe it's something you don't want to do, or maybe it's something you want to jump into at first. So do your homework. Find out as much as you can about the company. Meet people inside the company that will kind of be directing what you do. So people higher up, either the owners or whatever it is, and ask to meet with and see and visit other franchise locations to kind of see authentically what they're about.
Okay, and if you did it over again today, is there anything you would do differently in the process of getting this franchise?
You know what? Now this is my first franchise.
Yeah.
And I kind of just went at it as per the manual, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But now that I know what I'm doing, I probably could have saved a lot more cost, because now I actually know how to, for one thing, do a lot of things myself. Because when you own a business, you're the one taking care of it.
Right.
And two, you go through the process one time, you kind of see what works and what doesn't, and where you could have saved money and kind of streamline the process a little bit better. So if I were to do this all over again, I'd probably start it in about half the time and save about a third.
Okay. Okay. And you obviously have a passion. Maybe you can tell me a little bit more about your passion about, because this seems like it's a perfect fit for you, exercise. So tell me go back a little bit, your own life. And
So I've always been an active person. I first joined my first gym when I was about 16 years old. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, but I went through the motions and I did it.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where since I was that age, I was always the member of a gym. I've never not paid any membership due until I got my place.
Right.
But from there, I kind of got more and more involved. I started doing bodybuilding, physique competitions, competing.
Yeah.
Then I started training athletes as well, so up and coming competitors that want to kind of get into the whole bodybuilding and physique world. And from there, it was always something I did on the side. It was always I had my job. I did my job my 8 hours in the morning, then I'd go 2-3 hours in the gym and do my thing there. It was like having another full-time job. It's like 15 hours in the gym a week, but if you really want something, you got to work that hard for it. It doesn't matter if it's fitness or a business or anything. You got to work. You got to put that time in. And then it was just becoming more and more apparent that health and fitness and wellness was my thing. So my employer at the time offered me an HR position in health and wellness, and at that point, I was pretty much living health, wellness, fitness. That was my job at that point, mind you, corporate level. Okay. And then I just realized, this is really what I want to do, not within these restraints, but spending every day just working on health, fitness, and helping people improve and making people happy and kind of helping people transform and get what they want. Everyone wants something for fitness or health in some way. Even the healthy want to get healthy.
Right.
And then once I did that, I realized how happy I would be. And it's one of those things, when you get into HR is pretty strict and stringent. So I realized, I can't be within these confines to be my best self in what I do. I have to do my own thing. So I just took a plunge.
What about who's helped you along the way?
You know what? That's tough to say. It's one of those things I've had to do a lot of this by myself.
Right.
Honestly, it's been my wife. Like she's to say behind me. She's a very great woman, and that's been exactly the case here.
Yeah.
Where she's always kind of pushed me. She's one of those people that she saw the potential first.
Right.
And what she would do is, if I had some crazy idea, she would support me and say, go with it. Right. Because in her eyes, she could see me doing it. It's always good to have a good circle of friends. They always say that you're a summary of the 5 people you hang out with.
Yeah.
And I was very lucky. I knew a lot of business owners. One of my best friends is a real estate broker. He really taught me a lot about that. So a circle of friends kind of in what I already want to do. Like these are the people already who own businesses.
Yeah.
And we're already involved. These are the people you got to meet with. These are the kind of people you got to get to know. They're the ones that are going to help you, right? So between that and my wife, and you've met her, she's those are the people, right? I put in the work in, I put in the hours in, but it was my wife and my friends that kind of do this thing that were really the push that I needed.
Are there other people that you look up to that maybe you don't know them directly or business professionals?
Oh, a bunch. I mean, I think that you got to consume a lot of content in the direction that you want to go if you want to go there. So, I mean, if all you're consuming all day are Kim Kardashian, so you're not going to go many places, right?
Right.
But like, for example, Tony Robbins is one, Gary Vaynerchuk is another. Even Jeff Bezos, he's, I like to look up at these people. I don't look up to like rappers or movie stars. I look up to CEOs and business people because that's more attainable. I'm never going to be in a movie.
Right.
And I'm never going to drop an album.
Right.
But what I can do is hustle and work and see where I can get to. And that's exactly what these people have done, When you think about these businesses that have started off in garages, right?
Right.
You've seen my garage.
Right.
Right? So it's the same mentality. It's, pick your passion and go with it. That's what they did. And those are the people you got to look out for. Those are the people you got to look up to.
Right.
They're the people who've done it. They're the ones that usually have the drive and motivation. And I know you've heard of these people. They're the ones that also provide that motivation and that energy out.
Right.
They project it. So I like to consume their content.
So what's next for you?
Well, considering, I think what we learned through COVID, anyone who is a business person right now involved in COVID, a lot of business owners I know, we didn't go to school for it. We don't have fancy economic business degrees.
Right.
But the experience that we got from COVID is nothing that you can even learn or pick up in school.
Right.
So I think now that we were able to navigate and get our way through COVID, we had our company had to, our club had to pivot really quickly. We had to stay agile.
Right.
We had to turn something devastating into an opportunity to continue to kind of keep the ship afloat.
Right.
So I think now that we've gone through that, once you've gone through that, once you've gone through the outlook of possibly absolutely losing everything, and one day just being shut down, the faucet turns off. These businesses are cash flow. Let's say you need cash flow to operate. If you can go from that, maintain your business, keep it afloat, and then get your way out of it, you've learned a lot. So I think what's next for me is probably opening another fitness facility, either under 9 Round or either under myself.
Right.
And just keep going. I found what I want to do, and I'm going to keep going. It's going to probably mean more hard work and more debt, but really, when you're doing what you love, there's no price on it. So you just need to keep going.
Great. Okay. So is there anything else, advice that you would have to share for someone else who wants to either get into business or get a franchise?
Yeah, so I think it doesn't matter whether you're getting a franchise or getting into business. I think it just comes down to chasing your passion and being your authentic self, because if you're doing that, it doesn't matter whether you're making $100,000 a year or $60,000 a year or $1 million a year, you're happy. There's no price to being happy. So I would say just go for it, but you really have to dig deep and go.
Right.
People are going to think you're crazy. They're going to think you're insane. And, a lot of people probably laugh at me along the way. What do you think he is, Arnold, working out so much and doing competitions?
Right.
People are going to think you're crazy. That's why, because you're going to put in the hours. You're probably not going to see a lot of people because you're busy. You don't have time to go to the bar. You don't have time to go do other things. And just go. They're going to think you're crazy. They're going to laugh at you, and then they're going to look up to you. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you're putting in those long hours. It doesn't matter if you're not, seeing friends. There's some occasions where I had to skip weddings. Right. I felt terrible, but it was something that I had to do.
Right.
Because I had no choice. I had to give that time to something that was, working, something that was going. I couldn't step away. And sometimes you might have to do that. You might have to skip that party. You might have to, skip that event. You have to put in the hours. You got to be dedicated, and you got to just not worry about what people think.
Right.
Judgment is poison. Right. And if you think to yourself, geez, if I don't go to this social event, what are people going to think of me?
Right.
But I also know if I have to wake up Saturday at 6 a.m. to continue hustling, well, I can't go.
Yeah.
Right? Or maybe I can go and leave early, but I can't be there until 3, 4, or 5 in the morning. Doing what everyone else is doing. Remember, they're doing their thing because that's where they are,
right?
And that's their opportunity to relax. You don't have that opportunity to relax. So you got to work, and eventually your opportunity to relax will come,
right?
And that's when you can kind of come back to what that was before. And a lot of people, your close friends and your close family, they'll understand.
Yeah,
they really will understand. Okay, I haven't seen you at the barbecue for a while. I haven't seen you at the bar for a while. But if they're really supportive, they'll understand when they see you on the way out. So, for example, case in point here with COVID. I'm going to probably have to, bury my head in the sand and just, disappear for a bit from everything social, any event. Why? Because I have to put my time in here. We open up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We close at 8 o'clock. That's every day. I won't be able to do anything. And that's fine. But I have to put the hours in because this is what I want to do, and I got to keep this afloat. And it's that do anything mentality that you have to keep within yourself. It's that do anything, whatever it takes. That's business. That's true business. Is the grit, is the grind. That's what they don't teach. Right? You can have all the knowledge in the world you want about economics, right, and business, but if you don't have the hustle and the drive and the energy to continue, you're not going to get there.
And you also have given what you're talking now, when I see in the gym, you're a highly motivated person. You've said it, you're self-disciplined. What other qualities do you think you attribute to some of your success, your own personal qualities or traits?
You know what? It sounds crazy, but I always believe in being honest, because this way you don't have to remember anything. You're always kind of speaking the truth.
Right.
And it's crazy to say this, but I think a lot of business owners will probably let you know. So you have to be able to take a certain amount of abuse. You have to be able to take those punches and get back up and keep going. Okay? Because the world is a very nasty and hard place to live in. It's just the truth. But you have to know how to be able to deal with it and take your hits and keep going. Right? I think Ron said it best. The world's going to knock you down. It's not all rainbows and sunshine. It's going to beat you down and keep you on your knees if you don't get up and keep going. You got to keep. Okay.
Well, Brian, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. It was great.
Thank you.